Baby boy was acting strange, so his mother planted hidden camera and captures a nightmare. Her baby woke up with bruises, so she put a hidden camera, which she discovers in this story is devastating. Estefania was experiencing the most painful moment of her life. Her son Fernando, barely 5 months old, was being mistreated. He woke up with terrible bruises and she immediately kicked Oliveira, her partner, and the child's stepfather out of her house. The man claimed to be innocent, and days later she discovered the terrible truth and could not believe what she had seen. It was really creepy and awful. Estefania lived in a beautiful country-style house just outside the city. She was a veterinarian and her clinic was located in the courtyard of the property she loved, the property that she had inherited from her father, who had also been a great veterinarian. Estefania's mother lived in the city because ever since she got divorced, she never wanted to go to that house that the man left in her daughter's name. A lady made a lot of effort working as a music teacher to be able to support the girl. Because her father never remembered the existence of the child, he believed that the house would feed her. Estefania was very intelligent, so she always studied on scholarship, and she also received music classes with her mother, and she was so talented that she gave piano recitals and came to fill the small theater in the city, and the money they earned the lady saved for her daughter's studies. The girl helped her mother when she had cake orders because the lady made divine pastries and was highly sought after in the city, for which her daughter felt very proud of the great women she had as a mother. Little Estefania grew up with that admiration and the inspiring example of the lady who always supported her in all her dreams and efforts. At some point in her life, the little girl thought that her vacation was music, but when she was 14 years old, she knew that she wanted to be a veterinarian. At the age of 15, she fell in love with Oliveira, a very handsome and formal neighbor, so her mother was happy with that relationship. The boy even changed to Estefania his school to spend more time together. They were a very popular couple and loved by everyone at school. When they finished high school, the boys graduated and took different paths since he would travel abroad to study and she would use her career in the country. Oliveira promised her that he would be faithful to her from a distance, but she had serious doubts. During the first year of separation, they kept their relationship at a distance. Although Oliveira got lost during Christmas vacation and never got to see her, Estefania assumed that this was a sign that he didn't want to continue with her. With great sadness, she threw away the letters and photographs that she had with him and decided to bury him as part of her past. Although deep down she kept the illusion that he would come back and give her a logical explanation. She spent a year waiting for his return and tired of an illusion without head or tail, she decided to give herself a new chance at love. This time she started dating a classmate from college who was a sweetheart. She finished college and got married. They decided to live in a country house that she had inherited, so they invested in remodeling it and set up a veterinary clinic in the courtyard of the property. The business was very prosperous for them because there were no veterinarians in the town. They got a lot of customers and everything was perfect until, as Estefania discovered her husband kissing the nurse. The man begged for forgiveness, but she was upset, and the next day she started divorce proceedings from going back and forth to the courts. Estefania began to feel bad to the point that she fainted in her lawyer's office. She was taken to the hospital, and what a surprise she got when she found out that she was pregnant. But that didn't change her mind. She got divorced, and when she was 3 months pregnant, there was a knock on her door. Oliver had returned. The boy suffered a spectacular accident in his car and underwent 23 surgeries, in addition to which he remained in a coma for more than a year, for which he had been absent all the time. Seeing the scars and epic crisis, Estefania knew that he was not lying to her and she accepted him again because the love of her life. Oliveira didn't care that she was pregnant. On the contrary, she filled him with much happiness because he could not break. Therefore, the child would be his only child, as Stephanie asked him for a time to get married because she didn't consider it prudent to do it so soon. Both formally established themselves as a couple, and although he wasn't able to finish his studies, he began to work with her as an assistant, in addition to the fact that he had a considerable fortune for the compensation he received from the insurance for the terrible accident. Together they did the prophylactic course to be prepared at the time of delivery. At the 6th month of pregnancy, they We're told they would have a boy, and her mother made the decision. What would be called Fernando Oliveira was by Estefania's side, since she went into labor and filmed the exact moment of the baby's arrival in the world. When the boy was a month old, she started attending the clinic again, and the young man asked her to let him take care of the baby while she worked, which she thought was a great idea. Oliveira took perfect care of the child, and everything seemed to be perfect in that home. However, when Fernando was already 5 months old, he used to be very smiling, happy and playful because his mother, Estefania, loved him very much, and his father was all love, despite not having a biological relationship with him. But things got complex. One day when the baby woke up with bruises, Estefania discovered the bruises and became distressed. She didn't know how this had happened to the little boy. However, she said nothing and left Oliveira to continue taking care of the child. But the days passed, and the episode was repeated several times. That was no accident. So Estefania took her son to the doctor, and he explained that those bruises could only be the product of blows. The woman was immediately horrified because there was no one else in the house other than her partner. So she rebuked him and demanded that he told her the truth about why he was beating the baby. Oliver denied everything and gave her his word of honor that he was innocent. She decided to believe him because he had always been loving to the boy. A few weeks passed without major incidents. The boy had no more bruises. But after a month, the baby was bruised again. Estefania became furious again, and she told Oliver that she would report him to the authorities. But he claimed to be innocent. This time, the mother told him that her son's well-being was more important than her love for him, so she kicked him out of the house. Oliveira left and kept swearing that he was incapable of harming the boy he loved so much. Estefania was left alone with her son. But strangely, the creature reappeared with bruises. So she was filled with fear and thought that Oliveira could be coming in at night to harm the child. The woman decided to put a hidden camera in her baby's room to film what was happening and to know the culprit. The days passed. Estefania had checked the recording, but she didn't see anything strange. She noticed that the boy moved around a lot at times, and she thought he might be hitting himself in the crib rails. She took him to the doctor, but he assured her that it could not be the same baby that was causing those blows because they were very strong. Estefania was absolutely upset. The mystery increased. She didn't know what to do. There was no logical explanation for it. Oliveira did not appear in the video. It wasn't him who was causing the problem, and it wasn't the baby himself. Estefania came to think that her house was haunted, so she called a priest to bless the house, and so he did. But again, another morning, Fernando reappeared with bruises. I checked the camera, and she was very scared when she could see a woman from behind who came to the baby scrub and hurt him. But the most terrifying thing was when she was able to see the face of that strange woman. It turned out to be herself. Estefania was a sleepwalker, and some nights she would come to the baby scrub, and she would hold on to her arms tightly as if to protect him. In her mind, she was taking him from the arms of her ex-husband who mistreated her. She revealed everything to the doctor, and he began to give her psychological therapy and drugs for her condition. Estefania never wanted to hurt her baby. In reality, she was protecting him from his father, but if she was sleepwalking semi-conscious, she didn't understand that she was hurting him. It was with a video that everything was known. Friends, we have reached the end of the story. Tell us what you thought of the story.